Welcome to the SheetLoad of cards developed and hosted by Call Me Crafty Owl, who is Alicia. Hello, Alicia. There are several of us on YouTube participating, as well as on Instagram and blogs. So be sure to check all the links out below. Yeah, and I think right now we go through August, but I think or July, but I think we're going to continue, some of us anyway. So yeah, stay tuned for whatever we're going to do. But this is the June SheetLoad of cards. Now how this works is Alicia develops this SheetLoad of cards, which gives you a picture, gives you the dimensions if you just want to make one. It gives you how to cut your designer paper and your cardstocks in varying colors. It shows you how many cards and what style of card it's intended to make. And then she also gives you some, I always print it double-sided, some alternatives. And I tend to do similar to what she has, but I always, you know, sort of make it my own and go with a little bit of alternative. So I did make the 6 cards. So let me just sit this up here. And I use Stampin' Up! Items. I use the Ornate Garden. Let me figure out what I do with it. I used, I did not use that stamp. I used Ornate Thanks. I used this border out of here on 1 or 2 cards. I think 1. I used this border on a few cards, and you can't see it, but I used this style label, but it was a little bit smaller one, and I used that on several cards. So, and then I did use some of the Ornate Garden terracotta tile and old olive ribbon. And I used out of the Forever Greenery, which is new. Now these, the Ornate Garden and Ornate Thanks, they're available now and will continue. They're going to be in the new catalog for Stampin' Up! As of June 3rd, but they're orderable now through June 2nd as well. And this is from the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. Now that is not in effect till June 3rd. The only thing I used in it is some of this braided or twisted gold thread that does separate. There you can see it a little bit. So I used that. I didn't use the other one in that pack. And then some basic pearls and whatever, and I'll tell you about them. Okay, so here we go. Oh, and this is the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper. It is the same. It is available now because they did an early release on it. So it has lots of beautiful papers in it. And I used 3 of them. I was going to do another set too, but I ran out of time, as always. So I just did the 1 set of 6. So I made these 2 cards. Is that right? These 2 cards pretty similar. This is that Ornate, what are they called? Ornate Layers dies. They coordinate with the Ornate Style stamp set. Anyway, and here's the ribbon, and I did use just basic pearls on this, and there should be 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I stamped Thanks ever so much. Thanks. I love this stamp set because it has some that go before the words, or some that go after, or some you could put inside. But I just used Thanks on and ever so much on these 2. And I used the colors. I used a card base of terracotta tile. That's what this also is. And then this is mint macaron. And these, I cut up 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. Now, on some of them, I will be using the reverse side of some of the papers rather than the front side. These ones, I used all the ones I think that I originally picked out to use. So the only difference is in her diagram, she has a white flag for a sentiment, and it tells you you can do something different. And I didn't want another flag or banner, whatever you call them. So I wanted to do something more horizontal. So that's my change up, but otherwise they're pretty much the same. And then on all of them, I finished them with Whisper White with a strip of paper. The paper may change. On these two, it's the same, which coordinates with this paper here. So that's the first two. Then the next two are this is the background, one of the papers. This is the reverse of this paper, and then here I use that same floral that has the daisies in. So this one I switched up a little bit. Here's where I brought in the big thank you, and then this is that long border die I showed you. And what I did is I cut it out twice, and then I just glued it to the top and the bottom of the thank you to make it a little more frilly. This has gold in it, so I switched from pearls, which I still used on this one, to the gilded gems that are part of the Ornate Garden suite. And yeah, that's basically the difference. And then inside I have a different piece of paper which coordinates with this. Okay, and this is that gold thread that I like how that frays actually, as long as it doesn't do it while you're tying the bow. So this one I changed to the mint macaron ink. It's like the first two, only on those two I used terracotta tile ink. On this one I used mint macaron, and instead of doing thanks ever so much, I did seriously, comma, thanks. Seriously, thanks, because sometimes people don't believe you're really saying thanks. I don't know. And I have 5 pearls on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the basic pearls. And inside is, again, this paper here. And then the last two, this, now what I did on this one is I used the reverse. What did I do with that other card? Here it is. When I cut these out, this shape is what was left on the paper behind. So I used the negative, if you will, of it and did the same thing. Glued it to the top and bottom. Stamp thank you in terracotta tile, and then just use 3 gilded gems. And this time I switched to the, I think this is the only one I used, the old olive ribbon from the Ornate Gardens. And then the last card, oh, and this is the reverse of one of the papers. I can't, let me see which one. Okay, the big floral, I used the reverse of it instead for the background because I thought it was a little too busy. As you'll see in this one, to me this is a little too busy, but I didn't want to switch it twice. So I think I might have done this one. I don't remember, honestly. I might have done this one first and decided I wanted to switch it on this one. I'm not sure. But this one is back to that ornate layer. A little piece of the gold thread and a bow here, and 3 gilded gems, and I stamped in mint macaron on that one too. So those are, oh, and this one has the floral, the background floral. So those are my 6 cards that I have made for the SheetLoad card. So Alicia does this design, and on the first, which you hopefully have already seen, she posts a video sharing what it looks like and how to, a little bit about how to make the cards. And then on the second, those on her team show what we've made either on YouTube, Instagram, or on a blog. I will have these on my blog as well, but I'm on the YouTube team. So if you're interested in seeing the blog as well, you can go there. I won't give full instructions because I'm going to refer you back to Alicia's Call Me Crafty Owl SheetLoad of cards, and she will have that information linked below her video from the first and probably the second as well. I think she does more of a how to make it on the second. And then later in the month, Alicia, we have to send her pictures as well. And so sometime after the 10th of the month, she will do a video showcasing all the team's cards. So all those on YouTube, Instagram, and blogs, she will show them all. So stay tuned for that as well if you want to see all of them. And it's amazing to me, you know, we get the same diagram and instructions, and we come up with so many different beautiful card ideas from that. So yeah, be sure to check it out. All right guys, that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and come back again next month. Bye for now.